But I'm going to say this probably more than once. Don't freak out amidst the process of your purpose. So as I was praying this morning and journaling and just listening to some powerful kingdom principles and teaching, I realized the word purpose might be too huge to take a bite of. Like, I have this destiny purpose plan. I really believe in the purpose and encouraging people in their purpose from their identity and all. But I was thinking about the word purpose, and I was thinking, that is such a huge word. I said, God, it's just like, and God was able to talk to me and says, well, instead of the purpose, break it down into seasons and alignment for certain seasons and assignments. So, does that relate? Can you relate to that? I'm just sharing my heart here about purpose versus assignments versus seasons. So, when I think of you, or I think of myself, I think there's journeys that we go through in certain seasons that prepare us for our purpose. So if we ultimately know, this is the key that really helps me, if we ultimately know that God chose us from the foundation of the world, He chose us, He lined in our very DNA, our purpose, and what He put in it, what we're good at, what He wants us to be good at, all that, the big stuff, kind of big out here. And if we realize as we stay faithful to Him, not in a striving mode, but in that abiding mode, we can walk in certain seasons, certain assignments, certain missions in the small, realizing that all of that is like moving like a caboose or, towards our purpose. Does that make sense? Just really wanted to share that because I've been working over at thekingdommentor.net. It's really been awesome to see so many people want to get a hold of that destiny purpose plan. It's actually a plan that is my story, that has keys that help me. So sometimes when you really are excited and you really think you need to go somewhere, and then life hits, and in the midst of that life, there's grief, there's offenses, there's trauma, there's drama, there's your emotions. We're supposed to be spirit beings. We are spirit beings, not supposed to be. Christ is in you, you're a spirit being having a human experience, but so often the human experience can whack us out, can just like derail us in our purpose, and we get to this place of defeat. Don't freak out amidst the process of your purpose, because your purpose can be looked up as seasons that you go through that are like assignments for those seasons that mount up and keep going towards your purpose. For example, I was in radio for 15 and a half years, Christian radio, as an announcer. And then I went through this season where I retired and we moved to another state only to come back to this state. And I was just like, I so wanted to help my family again because I had helped them as an employee at a Christian radio station. And as I was striving and working, work, strive, there was something really missing that I was not taking care of. That's all part of my purpose. It was my heart. I was not working from a healed heart. I had much of an orphan spirit. I didn't really know my identity. I had a spirit of poverty. So I had no foundation. Even if any of those businesses that I worked were to succeed, I don't think I had the foundation to handle it. But this is how awesome God is. He lets us go through these things. I used to think, oh, what a waste. What a failure I was. Now I see them as God using them as building blocks to help me in my purpose. But the building blocks, once again, purpose is so huge. But if we look at building blocks, what's your season right now? What is God calling you to be faithful to right now? Some of you, it might just be your job you're in or your family. Some of you might be really trying to take off with your extraordinary solution for someone's pain point. And you're going through those steps. And you know what? It's beautiful as God works all of that, obviously, together for good. To those who loved Him, to those who are called according to His purpose. I just thought I needed to break that down because in the kingdommentor.net, all of that and the series and the stuff that I have following, I just realized I was okay with it because the basis of it was my own repair and restore process where I got like someone picked up my heart and threw it against the wall and I splattered everywhere. No place. I mean, you need some serious repair and restore before you ever try to rebuild. So no matter what process you're in right now, I just want to encourage you that think of it as a season. Think of it as an assignment. You may have favor for a certain assignment right now, a certain position, and walk in that. And you may see, well, yeah, but I'm meant to be way over here. I'm meant to be talking on stages and to the world. If that's your purpose, that's cool. But walk in the seasons towards that. Take good care of your heart. Come to that place where you understand who you are, so you can have the foundation to walk where God's called you in your purpose. Does that make sense? So breaking down purpose into missions, into seasons, into assignments. This morning I was processing some things and thinking this was one of them. Purpose seems so huge, and God kept saying, he always says this, don't freak out amidst the process of your purpose. Your times are in my hand. Be like King David, who said, but as for me, I trust in you, O Lord. I say, my times are in your hands. That's in Psalm 31, I think. I'm pretty sure. So God was like, in the midst of some issues, God was like saying, Theresa, take an identity trip. I said, okay. He said, soak in Ephesians 1, just Ephesians 1. In the first reading, go ahead, get your marker, get your colored pen. I know it's a fairly new Passion Translation Bible, but just underline those things that are hitting you right now. Ephesians 1. So once again, I've got a purpose. I got an assignment. I know I'm focusing on this assignment at thekingdommentor.net. Plus, in about 40 minutes, I'm going to have a Kingdom family time in the Vine with my mentorship group. So I'm thinking about all these things, breaking them down, and God tells me to go to Ephesians 1. And out of Ephesians 1, the Holy Spirit's so cool. He will talk to you, okay? Out of Ephesians 1, the Holy Spirit said, okay, now, you like to journal. You can't read your writing, Theresa, so please get out your Mac. I love when he tells me to get out my Mac. And go to Evernote. Don't go to anywhere else on the computer. And process. Let's see if I can share some of my processing. He said, process out of Ephesians 1. He said I could share this. I'm not going to print it yet, but he said, I'll let you share this as you ponder it. So I'm on Ephesians 1. I'm barely past verse 1, where Paul says, I am an apostle. And I'm like, well, who am I? God says, who are you? So I started, I am a much-loved daughter. So I started affirming myself. And then as I went through this, I realized that this was the key. I have a purpose, you have a purpose, but right now in this season, what is God saying? What is God saying to shore up your identity? So he was telling me, go to Ephesians 1, I want to shore up your identity. It's kind of like taking a bath in grace. That's what I think. When God tells you a specific chapter, a lot of times I think he's wanting you to take a bath or just sit down in the fields with him. Or I love that verse, God reserves a private place for lovers of him so he can reveal deep secrets or something. My Psalm 25. So God's grace is what God started to say in this purpose. He says, in the midst of that big purpose, don't freak out amidst the process. The process, if you think about the process to your purpose, those seasons of time, you're all going in your purpose. He says, those are seasons of time when you get to know me. Those are seasons of time when you get to walk in my spiritual blessings. Those are seasons of time when you get to shore up who you are in me. That's a huge season for me. It's a huge season for anyone. When you truly get in alignment to your spirit, to your soul, to your body, when that's in line. So if you do have any issues in your body or in your soul, you're able to take authority and say, wait a minute, I'm going to respond to that issue that's trying to walk me off. Okay, that's a whole nother shows me. That's a whole nother subject. So anyway, kingdommentor.net is where I brought this about, because I've been really digging in, trying to provide value for those that it's like this. You know you have a purpose. So let's break it down. Like, let's say you know you have a purpose to be a writer. Or let's say you know you have a purpose and you know God's given you witty ideas for the marketplace, and you're just in the process of walking to get that released. Or you're in the process, what does it mean to be a writer? What does it mean to be a songwriter? And so if you think it's your purpose, you might get really instantly discouraged. Oh, that's probably so much to do. But if you look at it as assignment, this is my assignment right now. And for some of you, your assignment right now may have nothing to do with writing. Hi, Mika. Do you hear me? Sometimes your assignment right now may have nothing to do with your purpose, but yet it does. like, well, right now I'm just so busy with taking care of the family that can't even think about writing. You think it has nothing about your purpose, but have you ever thought what you're going through right now? What you're dealing with? What you're learning in your heart to be a healed heart? Do you think that might not be a part of what you write about later on? Or maybe you're going through a trauma and God's delivering you. He's bringing in our healing. And you're like, but I'm not writing that book. But could you see that that might be the process of your purpose? Yeah, because like I said, I have had my years of being freaked out about the purpose because I knew what God put in me, but my heart wasn't healed. Okay, I didn't know who I was, so I was getting value by what I did instead of who I was. So I had to go through a journey, assignments of I love giving out keys. This is a key for someone. Grab this. It's a key. So I had to go through process, even failures. Instead of now looking at failures, I think, wow, that was part of my process. I love this, God. You love us so much, and you don't see us as wrecked and busted and disgusted. You see us as holy. That's what. Go to Ephesians 1 after this. Take a bath. Sit down with the Lord. I don't know why I'm saying bath. I guess I think washing off the crumb of negativity around you or even in your own mind. Yeah, go ahead and dunk yourself in that bath. We need our mind renewed. So, just really passionate about that because I'm so passionate about what's going over at thekingdommentor.net, seeing people really like, yeah, I want this plan. I want these 3 steps. And so in the midst of all that, God's letting me use an assignment now. I'm on a different season now. I'm not on the wreck, busted drama story. I've come through that with his leading. So now I'm in a season, an assignment that is able to say, hey, let me show you what I learned from that. That's what thekingdommentor.net is about, some of it. So anyway, I just really felt that really needed to be shared a little longer than I like to, but I hope I hope that's connecting with you. If it's connecting with you, hit me a heart, because it was so heavy on me, almost heavy to the point that I was borderline. I know when I get depressed, I know kind of some things that come into my mind. I was almost borderline. No, I'm not depressed. I had to reaffirm myself after that Ephesians 1. No, thank you. No, I'm not depressed. I am walking in who I am, and it's a process, so I'm not going to freak out, because ultimately, Psalm 31, but as for me, I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hands. So if your time and your assignment right now is a little bumpy, or if the season you go through seems so dark, think of it as the process where God's going to lead you. It's like his hand's out there. He's leading you into your identity. He's leading you into making declarations. Make declarations from the word about who you are. Let him lead you, so that dark, yucky time can be part of your journey to your purpose, but it's not the purpose end all. I just think that's just freed me up. I was like, okay, do I have grace for this area, this season? I want to have God's grace, so I ask him for his grace and favor. I usually can feel it, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I want to do this, but God says, no, you're in your assignment, you're in your season. Theresa, don't freak out amidst the process. So, anyway, this is just maybe just meant for a few, but it's just too, when God presses on me to share, I just feel like I want to share, because just to like hand out a key that maybe will open the door of your heart to an area where you just wanted to close it because there was so much hurt. Think of that as still in process, and God's giving you the key to open your heart. And then take that place of taking good care of your heart. Maybe you need to read some books. Maybe you need to go through some series. So my latest series is going to be called Orphan No More. Maybe you just need to, realign. I love that word. Realign your thoughts to what God says about you instead of what your circumstances. Realign yourself to say, yes, I see my purpose, but right now I'm going to focus on my assignments. I'm going to focus on my season, my mission right now. Right now. Yeah, I'm giving the keys out. And really excited to be able to talk to you and share with you like that and just be real. and share that, I guess what I want to share is the kingdom is so exciting. And that's what I hope I'm relaying, kingdom thoughts. Not religious thoughts, but kingdom thoughts. Because the kingdom is big. It's bigger than your church. You can bring kingdom into all areas of your life. And I believe God is lining some of you up to truly walk in the kingdom life. What that means is often that means you're walking from heaven. You know who you are. You know you are a much loved daughter. Go to Ephesians 1 and remind yourself who you are, that every spiritual blessings have been lavished on you through Christ. That you can walk in joy and celebration of who He made you to be. If you need to use this key, this is a big one. If you need to use this key with some forgiveness, use it. That'll be the biggest block. And then watch yourself as this journey becomes a journey of love. The process is all about relationship, and you are moving forward in your purpose as you take season by season. I think it's really exciting and comforting to know that He's got my times in His hands. Because if I tried to take on my purpose on my own, I think that's a recipe for a crash, bash, see you later, you're out of here. So, but then when He does give you more, you have been so faithful with the assignment that you're in now that you can go to the next assignment. So, what's the key? What key do you need? Do you need the key of forgiveness? Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you need just to refocus on who you are in the vine, that you are a spirit being having a human experience, and right now your human experience is ruling your spirit. And you need to just have that realignment of living from your spirit to your soul, which reflects in your body. Love talking about that. That's what we do all in the Kingdom Mentor Academy. So, what spurred this all on? What spurred all this on was the phrase in my, I don't even know if I can find it, if I have it up. It was the destiny purpose. Purpose is what, the word purpose is what got me going at kingdommentor.net, because I'm thinking maybe I should have said the ultimate season, assignment, purpose, plan. But I thought, no, my crash is still a part of the purpose. So that's what it's about, is keys that I learned in the restore and repair process, which helped me to rebuild, all part. And even as I was thinking, I was going back to the times when I was retired and I wanted to help my family. I must have smashed and crashed into at least 8 MLMs. But I tried. I used to think, oh, what a failure. Now I'm looking at them as, wow, I learned some things. We're talking some years here. Okay, I learned some things. And then going into another season of even working for a well-known translation, but losing my voice, not taking care of my heart. And even though it was awesome, I was always working and not connecting with my family. So anyway, purpose. You got a great one. Don't freak out amidst the process. What season are you in right now? Maybe you're in a crash season, so you need to get kingdommentor.net. You need to go there and get the outline for that plan. Or maybe you're just about to soar off. I have one member in our Kingdom Mentor Academy. Man, she is taking off, just absorbing the kingdom, knows where she wants to go. Maybe you're in that. You're just like a butterfly. You come out of your cocoon and you're ready to fly. Or maybe you're flying and it's going pretty good, but you know there's more in your purpose. You know there's more in this season. Whichever it is, just know that God is so faithful. I mean, you're so valuable to Him that He will take you through that season. And it'll all be a fulfillment of your process. Because you don't have to freak out amidst the process. Because process is all about relationship. The best way to end this, write this down. The best way to realign yourself is spend time in His presence. Worship Him. Consume His word. And do what He says. Obey. Nothing tastes better the next morning than obedience to God. Nothing brings you closer to worship than obeying God. Obeying God can be a form of worship. All right. Thank you for letting me share. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's so nice to be able to just be real with you guys and share some nuggets and get ready now. We're going to have communion at family time. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. So kingdommentor.net, that's where it all started with the word purpose. Let's see if that might not help you. Talk to you in the next video, and I really do love you.